Welcome to this Big Apple Breakdown episode. It is late Sunday afternoon, early Sunday night, and boy, we have a lot of sports to cover. A ton happened today. First round pick Jaxson Dart made his first start and got the win. Both the Yankees and Mets regular season has ended today, with the Yankees going to the playoffs and the Mets going to Cancun. Henry, how are you doing?
Doing good. Biggest sports day of the summer, honestly. There's a lot on the line today, a lot at stake for both the Yankees and the Mets, and big day for the Giants. I'm happy I didn't have to watch the Jets play today because that would have ruined my day. But just a lot of sports, a lot of meaningful sports, and a lot on the line today. So it was awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of emotion throughout the day. I want to mention this part now because overall this was a good day for the Giants, and I do want to mention the Malik Neighbors factor. Obviously, Malik Neighbors looks like a torn ACL, so just thoughts and prayers for him. But I don't want that to take away what the Giants accomplished today because there's been few victories recently. But hopefully, Malik Neighbors has a speedy recovery. It's looking like a torn ACL, so the Giants will be out their star receiver likely for the rest of the year.
Yeah, and I mean those injuries these days, yeah, it sucks, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year, and it's devastating. Those guys come back faster, stronger, better. Like, that's not the type of injury where it's going to derail anyone's career. He'll be back. He'll be good for 2026. It just sucks that with all the excitement coming into today's game, the debut of Jaxson Dart, debut of what we think the future of the New York Giants is going to be, that part of that future is out for
Not
the rest
here
of
right
the year.
now.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start there. The Giants beat the 3-0, now 3-1 Los Angeles Chargers to get their first win of the year. Jaxson Dart gets the win, and the Dart era is off to a good start. I mean, overall, I thought Jaxson Dart looks pretty good. Obviously, only like 120 passing yards. He had like 60 rushing yards, a rushing touchdown. But I thought he gave the Giants a spark that just wasn't there. The defense looked really good today. They created a bunch of plays. Beat the crap out of a bad Chargers line with the injuries. And it was good to see the Giants defense look like what the Giants defense is supposed to be. They had 20 QB hits today, which is absurd. Abdul Carter had an awesome game, his best game of his young career. Dexter Lawrence almost had a pick six. Drew Phillips making plays. And Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau wreaking havoc. But overall, I think you kind of quickly saw the Giants what this team might be now, especially with Malik Neighbors' injury. They might be a ground and pound team with Cam Scatterbo and even Jaxson Dart now. I mean, they had a bunch of rushing yards. You even saw Devin Singletary getting in at the end.
Yeah, no, they looked awesome today, and they looked like it was a different version that they unlocked. Obviously, Dart's a young quarterback, and he's going to have some growing pains. But today, he didn't really – yeah, there are a few things here and there that you need to clean up. But he really, played – well, better than I expected him to play. The one knock I will give him is he takes too many hits.
Yes.
And we saw when they sent him into concussion protocol, just an unnecessary hit to take with the flag on the field. He probably didn't see the flag, but just you're going that situation, you got to slide instead of taking the hit, and that costs your team ultimately because then you get taken out of the game. That's things he'll learn. I'm being a little nitpicky here. Those are things he'll learn and he'll improve on and be better for it.
No, you're right. I mean, the rookie mistakes, he botched an under center snap because he's not used to that, but it got picked up. I think he missed there was a unblocked guy on a blitz, so he just failed to get the ball out. But it was a lot. You're right. It's a lot of nitpicking stuff that he didn't do great, which is just going to come better with more experience. Because he didn't. I thought most of his throw. I honestly thought he had some really impressive throws. Just the ability to be a playmaker, kind of what Russell Wilson used to be early in his career. You saw a lot of that where the first or second read wouldn't be there. He'd scramble, make a good throw, and then the Giants would be able to continue playing. And I think you saw them use the middle of the field more. Theo Johnson had a touchdown. And then Theo Johnson kind of had the play to ice the game. The Giants did end up punting, but there was 25 seconds left. They got a first down. And I was overall just really impressed. I mean, the kid's a competitor. Just the way he's able to scramble. I mean, I knew he could scramble, but I didn't expect it to be this effective in the NFL. There was a 3rd and 1, and the Giants get a first down, and the play was dead. and he looked like it was gonna be a lost attack when he broke the play, kind of like Cam Scatterbo in a way, and got down. And it's like this guy's just a gamer, and he's gonna be such a fun guy to cheer for. And I think it's just gonna get better as time goes. And I just think this Giants offense suits him way more than what they had with Russell Wilson.
And the way he can scramble, keep his eyes down the field. If it's not there, he'll take off and run. I saw a little rookie Josh Allen in him. The toughness he showed, putting a shoulder into a guy and just like putting his body out on the line for his team. And he from the beginning, I texted you. I said something along the lines of like, this whole team has more energy or more confidence or something, because that bled into the whole entire team. The defense had this aggression that I feel like they haven't had the last few weeks. And it was just a total culture shift throughout the whole entire team. They seemed more excited to play. And that's not to knock Russell Wilson. It's just like energy like put into everyone.
I mean, their defense, like you're mentioning, they pretty much had two massive mistakes. Hampton had a big touchdown run, and then Quinn Johnson burned Deonte Banks. But besides those two massive mistakes, they played awesome. And they were they gave Jaxson Dart a lot of good opportunities to make himself comfortable. So the defense was awesome. And I mean, like Jaxson Dart had this one play where kind of Wan'Dale Robinson dropped it. It was 4th and 1. Play's kind of dead. He makes he avoids a sack, lobs to the Wan'Dale. And it wasn't like a drop, but like kind of I was like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, if they lose this game, that's going to be one of those plays where I start freaking out because the Giants just can't make the freaking play to win the game. But, I mean, Dart's just a playmaker, and he had some really impressive throws to me. He didn't have a big deep ball, but one was a PI, and then he just missed Darius Slade on another one. So I think that will come. I mean, it's clearly there. It's clearly got the arm strength and arm talent. And I think him and Cam Scatterbo duo is going to be super fun to watch because those two are just competitors, and they both just try to take people's heads off every play.
And also, I do agree. I thought there were a couple throws that he missed that, like, he'll get those cleaned up. But when you have him and Scatterbo, who are both rookies, they haven't been here the last few years. So, like, they to a sense don't feel like the dread that's been over this franchise the last couple of years. So they probably feel like, oh, we have a chance to go in and totally blow this up, turn this around. Whereas other guys who have been there for the last few years probably like feel more hopeless. If that makes sense.
You're totally right. I mean, those two bring a different energy. It just hasn't been there for the Giants. And as seeing those guys do that as rookies is awesome. And I can't believe how fast, like some of the post-game comments by some of the guys that have been there, like Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Kayvon Thibodeau, they believe in Dart, man. I think Dart's won over this locker room already. Just the way he plays, like he has a certain aura to him. He just does. Like totally like has that New York sports aura as like guys that have failed in the past, like Daniel Jones, Zach Wilson, Darnold just didn't have.
Yeah, and even like ways that they were celebrating, it almost felt like they knew once they got this guy in, they were gonna unlock something like this. Like it sucks looking back and seeing, but like the way him and Neighbors were celebrating after one of the touchdowns, I forget exactly which one, but like they seem just so energized and like refreshed almost, which to me makes the Neighbors injury that much more devastating. It seems like they are turning this corner, which I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here, but it's a new era, new hope of this franchise. And then for that to happen, like, it sucks. But I don't think that should overshadow the good of today. Like, I think that's so much to be happy about.
My mindset is this year's a wash anyways, if you want to think of it. And Neighbors will be back next year. Like, that's just the mindset, like, I'm going to give myself. But the Giants do have a legit shot to be 2-3 now next week. They got the Saints. So.
Yeah, it's a wash in the sense of this team's not going anywhere, but it's not but it's not a wash. Every game is meaningful now because you're developing and playing for next year almost. You're seeing what you have out of this group. You're seeing if it's going to be this regime or if they're going to have to blow it up and go in a different direction. So I don't agree that it's a wash because there's you're playing for more than your record at this point, you know?
Yeah, I think the most awesome scene from this game was after the game, the way Brian Dable embraced Jaxson Dart, because the way the reports came this week, this was clearly Brian Dable's decision. It seems like him and Joe Shane are no longer like in sync like they kind of used to be. And Brian Dable knows like this is his last stand, this is his call. And you saw that emotion that you used to see with Brian Dable that just hasn't been there these past 2 years. And that was just awesome to see, like how excited he was after the win. Like the Giants beat a good football team.
Yeah, a good Jim Harbaugh coach football team. Because even the Chargers are one of those teams where they'll get off to a good start or win a big game or whatever, and then they seem almost like Jets-like, where they're never going to sustain anything. But I feel like when you bring in a coach like Jim Harbaugh, it's a totally different shift. So like I feel like I would, just because of who their coach is and what they've done to this point in the year, beating the Chiefs, I feel like I would categorize them in one of those upper echelon of teams. And the Giants went out there and they beat a great team.
Yeah, I mean, the way Dart played today, it honestly kind of reminded me of a little bit how they used to kind of play with Daniel Jones in that 2022 year when Daniel Jones was a good year. It was very similar to that style of offense, except I do think they still were able to do more stuff with Jaxson Dart than even they could do then with Daniel Jones. But it's just crazy how different of an offense it was compared to the Russell Wilson 3 games, because there were so many more RPOs. I mean, the run game was just there for the Giants. One thing about Dart, I thought he took too many sacks. There were a few sacks where kind of where it was on the offensive line where he's trying to make a play out of kind of nothing and he takes a few sacks. So again, that's something he'll learn throughout this season. But there was no like dumb turnover. Like that's the stuff you're looking for in a rookie quarterback. They'll make a really, really bad mistake. And I already think that, like, obviously this guy's in a different situation, but I think Dart's already shown me more than Cam Ward has done in his first 4 games.
Yes and no.
It's obviously different. Cam Ward's obviously in a different situation. No one talks about the Titans too.
Yeah, they're not like as talked about in the media, and also I think that Titans roster around him is just way worse.
Yes, the Titans
than the roster around Dart. I also think it is just a different situation because I think the urgency. I know there's been some whispers about Callahan down there in Tennessee with his job security, but I think just like with Dable feels like his back is against the wall, and it's now or never. If he doesn't get this right, he's done as a head coach, at least for his time here in New York. And I feel like some people, you put their back against the wall like this, they go out and I don't know, they save themselves a little bit. I think also Jaxson Dart knows the situation too, where he's like, as long as I'm here, you're gonna be okay.
Yes,
and he's like,
I mean, those two feel really close already. Dart said in the interview, he's like, it gives you so much confidence that this guy's always believed in me since day one. Like you have no you have like no idea what that stuff does to Jaxson Dart. It gives him so much confidence, and I'm just so happy that you didn't see that swagger and confidence go away once he got on a real NFL game. It's there. He's shit talking guys, getting in people's face, and that's just stuff I love to see that you haven't seen out of a Giants quarterback really in my lifetime, because Eli was never like that. Like it's just a different style, and it's refreshing to see.
Yeah, it can be good when things are going good, but also
he definitely
lose a couple games and then it gets really bad. I mean, I don't know if you remember when it was last year against Florida, Dart threw like 3 picks in a row, and then he was on the bench crying. Like that's the type of thing where when it's going good, it's great, but when it starts going bad, like that's the type of thing that happens. So, I mean, I love the swagger that he plays with, and obviously, like we sit here and we talk about his talent. He is one of the more talented quarterbacks to come out of the draft in recent memory, and he has all the tools to put it together and be a great player. I just hope that he does.
Yes, and now I think a big question is, because you mentioned the urgency, and obviously with the Malik Neighbors injury, someone's got to step up. Obviously, you'll see like guys like Darius Slayton and Wanda Robinson get more targets, and even Cam Scatterboo and Theo Johnson have to do more for the offense. But I don't like. There are other receivers right now, are Jalen Hyatt and Bo Collins. Who Bo Collins is like an undrafted rookie, and Jalen Hyatt's horrible. So I wonder if this regime brings somebody else in because, like you said, there's a sense of urgency to win now. And whether that's a trade or a free agent, I kind of expect them to now bring somebody else in. I don't know. You'll have the people say the Odell stuff just to say it. I don't think that's gonna happen, and I don't think that would help much. But I don't obviously like a dream one would be DJ Moore, but like this is I don't really know what other receivers are available. Like I know Jacoby Myers requested a trade, but I don't know if that just isn't a thing anymore. He's been playing for the Raiders.
When you mentioned DJ Moore over text to me earlier, that's definitely interesting just because with Rome Odunze emerging there as the number one, DJ Moore has always been like the type of guy who's been the number one, but he's not like top level receiver where like I don't know if that makes sense. He's a number one on the teams he's played for, and he has number one talent, but he's not like a sustainable number one. But I think he's the type of guy, veteran, who can come in and help the Giants if the Bears make him available. But I also think that with the Bears' new head coach in Ben Johnson, I don't think they're the type of team that's going to want to trade away a valuable asset, especially one who is helping out the development of their young quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do some more research throughout the week, and you know, oh wow, I just thought of Tyreek Hill. I don't know why that went in my mind, but okay. I don't know that. That one just came to my head. Actually, I'm just trying to think of guys that could be available.
All right, when we were texting about this earlier, and you said they might need a trade for a wide receiver, and I was like, yeah, but who? I thought about Tyreek Hill, but I didn't want to. I figured you were thinking the same thing, but like
I was not actually,
but didn't say it just because that's so. I feel like that's so unrealistic. Just the type of personality he is. Why would the Giants bring that in?
Yeah, I mean, also I just think it still makes a lot more sense for him to go back to the Chiefs. Like it's just there's such an obvious fit for that.
Chiefs or Pittsburgh. Those are the only two places I think he can go because Pittsburgh's also in a situation where they can afford to take that risk.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely. the Giants really are not.
I have no idea what the free agent receivers look like, honestly. So
I'm gonna look.
Wait, I think Gabe Davis is on a practice squad. That's an interesting one. He's on the Bills practice squad.
Yeah, Buffalo.
And the Giants, like I remember in the offseason, they were like working him out. That's an interesting one. That's someone they can just bring on the roster. Obviously, they have the Brian Dable connection. They're gonna work people out. I mean, I assume you need another receiver because you can't have Jalen Hyatt and Bo Collins out there.
Yeah, I don't really can't.
But Jalen Hyatt is so bad. He doesn't even get looked at when he's out there. It's kind of hilarious.
And I could see like the connection between Dable and Gabe Davis, but sometimes like players go back to their team like that and they're okay with being on a practice squad.
Yeah,
where the other places they've gone hasn't worked out, so they're like, I'll just go back here and I'll be happy. I mean, I guess Amari Cooper retired. I would think
Cooper's retired.
The Raiders still have his rights, so even if he wants to come out of retirement,
I don't think that one's happening. I don't know. I think Joe Shane's gonna have to get creative here to try to figure something out. But I guess this is middle of the week. I'm sure we'll hear more about. But I mean, overall with the Giants, I mean, I'm happy. Great win. It's good to get a win. One of these New York football teams got a win. Hopefully the Jets could get one tomorrow. I'm happy with Dart's debut. He's 1-0 as a starter. Beat a good team. I like obviously I could have asked a crazier numbered Lions game, but like I'm as happy as I can be about the Giants, barring league neighbors torn ACL. Obviously that sucks. But anything else you want to talk about the Giants or football?
No, I feel like we've mostly covered everything with the Giants. Great first start. Sad to see neighbors get hurt, but I think there's something good here that they can build on, and I think the future is bright for him. And I think the Giants that have found their quarterback. I think he is going to be the guy that will lead them out of this.
Hopefully, but I think we got to move on to baseball. I think we got to talk about this team that we probably will not talk about until the winter meetings now, pretty much.
I actually think we might talk about them more than we think just because of how epic of a collapse this was.
Well, it's going to be curious if guys get fired or not. I mean, typically when you have this bad of a year, people get fired. But I still think most Mets fans are pro Mendoza. I don't know if my uncle's listening here, but I'm curious to hear what these Mets fans think. But yeah, so the New York Mets officially today missed the playoffs, and it happened again in a terrible Met way. I believe the Reds ended up losing. I know the Brewers were winning most of that game, but I'm pretty sure the Reds ended up losing. So all the Mets had to do was beat the Miami Marlins, and they got shut out 4-0, and they ended the year 83-79 outside the playoffs, going from the best record in the MLB to missing the expanded format playoffs. Just what a fucking joke. That's just all I can say about it.
It is a joke, and this payroll, bringing in an $800 million man, all the shit they talked all winter long. Oh, we got your guy. We took your guy from you. This is our town. We're Big Brother. Yada, 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 yada. And now sitting here September 28th on the final day of the season, Yankees are in and the Mets are on the outside looking in. Embarrassing, especially because of the expanded format playoffs, because there's 3 wildcard teams. If there was 1 wildcard team, the amount of money you spend, all that, you should still make the playoffs. But there's 3 wildcard teams, and this team missed it.
Yeah. And it's also like last year, the Diamondbacks missed the playoffs at 89 wins. It's not like the Mets missed the playoffs like 88 wins. They had 83 wins. But here's some complaining about Mendoza. So I have a question for you, Henry. Would you fire Carlos Mendoza? Is this your inexcusable?
I would not fire Mendoza, but I would fire Stearns.
Yeah, I think more of it's his blame as well, because it all falls into pitchers. Soto had a good year. Soto did have a good year numbers wise, but I do think he look, I know people will say Lindor's the leader or Alonso's the leader, but at the end of the day, the leader's the guy that's making the big bucks, the guy that signed that long-term deal. And I just feel like he failed to develop leadership skills there. And he didn't have like the clutch moments he had with the Yankees. And the 40-40 stuff, a lot of the stolen bases is stat padding, I will say.
Yeah. Also, you're right. Like when you get paid that much money, whether you want to be or not, you're a leader of the team. The way he leads is not, he doesn't make a good example. When the Mets are changing pitchers early on in the year and he's sitting in the bullpen, hanging out with those guys, when he looks miserable, the body language is bad. Even when the Yankees are playing bad and going through tough stretches, you never see that from Aaron Judge. You never see the pouting, keep like putting his head down. That he almost like once it almost like isolated himself from his teammates for parts of the year, and it just sets a really bad example. And yes, he had a great individual showing, but in baseball, I mean, we've seen it with Trout and Ohtani being on the same team, 2 guys that are great players and have great mentalities. Individual performance doesn't necessarily lead to team success.
Yeah, to this comment, Helsley was considered. We all thought it'd be a great trade, just turned out bad. I mean, I think most of it does fall on David Stearns, because if you think about all the moves he made, I can't think of one that aged well. But they not including the Soto move, but Clay Holmes might have been his best move, and I would say that ended up being an average move. Senga. I know Senga is literally unpitchable. He didn't pitch. Manaea, terrible.
Frankie Montas
just didn't play his trade. Cedric Mullins, horrible trade. Tyler Rogers, not a great trade. Helsley, not a great trade. And they just had no pitching. Obviously, they had kids come up, and those guys gave a little hope with McLean, Sprout, and Tong. But you were putting a lot of pressure on just kids. And I think Stearns tried to play the small ball tactic. And I don't know if it was an ego thing. The Mets were trying to do a new baseball thing, but they refused to pay pitchers. And ultimately, that's probably why they're on the playoffs, because they didn't have a go-to pitching guy. They just didn't all year, and their pitching was so bad.
And I remember at the beginning of the year, you kept bringing up these concerns, and I kept saying, well, they did it last year. I think they could do it again, and boy, was I wrong about that.
Yeah, last year was an outlier. I mean, you need legit starting pitching, and the Mets see, the thing with the Mets is it's not like they had a stud coming up. All their pitchers were mediocre guys that were not true aces, and they a guy they probably should have re-signed Luis Severino. They chose Frankie Montas over him essentially, and the Frankie Montas deal, which is a disaster, obviously, and just none of their pitchers. Like Peterson was an all-star, and he just fell apart. He was unpitchable at the end of the year.
Or you mentioned this at the All-Star break or around the trade deadline that Luis Severino back to the Mets would have been a match made in heaven. Would have been a perfect fit. It was almost a done deal that he was not that he was going to get traded to the Mets, but that he was going to get traded from the Athletics. It seemed like an awful fit there, and it really everything pointed to him going back to New York. And you talked about that a bunch, and it just never happened.
Yeah, and now there's just a lot of questions with this team. Alonso and Diaz are free agents, and then what are those guys' futures? I know like a lot of Mets fans, I think they love Pete Alonso and Diaz, but at some point they have a lot of guys that have been on the team for a while. At what point do you get fresh blood? McNeil, like guys like that, like Diaz, I think that he's more likely to stay. But I don't know if Alonso's staying on this team. I just could see somebody paying him a lot of money.
The fresh blood thing, I think that fits for like a McNeil, but Alonso, I think if you're the Mets, you got to try to do whatever you can to keep him. But I think the way they treated him last year, coming into this year, if I'm him, I am looking elsewhere, unless the Mets give me a shitload of money.
And I'm sure, if I'm just guessing at this is no intel or any reporting I've read, I think that locker room was just an absolute shit show. I think there's a lot we don't know about, and there's a lot of drama that I think will unfold, because this is typically when this stuff will unfold in the next few days when reporters talk to people and make stories. I don't know. This team just seemed off. They were the complete opposite of last year's team. Last year's team was a gritty comeback team, and the whole point was to build off last year's team, and it just didn't happen. And throughout all the Mets struggles, I'm not even just trying to glaze the Yankees here, but the Yankees and Mets were both in similar spots in July, both struggling, both not playing well. We both expect them to turn around. The Yankees ended up winning 94 games, tied for the best record in the American League. The Mets never turned that ship around.
And isn't it crazy for the Yankees where at some of their low points, we were like, this team might not make the playoffs, and then they come all the way back. Albeit it was a great run. This team, and Aaron Boone, for all the criticism we give him, he's great at getting his team to lock in when they need to. I wish they would have. I mean, we'll get to this. I wish they would have just gotten one more win throughout the season. But he is great. I will give him credit for getting his team to lock in and cancel out the outside noise when they need to. And it seems like the Mets just went on an opposite trajectory.
Yes, and I think the entire time the players thought they could just turn it on. And I think they're all shocked. They're all probably sitting there shocked, like, wow, we just couldn't turn this thing around. And that's it. And I wonder what guys it bothers, because that's how I wonder what guys are pissed off, sick to their stomach, or the guys that are, vacation.
But I don't care. You said the thing about, we'll see what kind of drama comes out in the coming days and weeks and months, whatever. Do you think it was more that there was drama and real problems, or that these guys were just didn't care? I
don't think. I think the don't care part is low. I think a lot. I think the Mets just had the New York Mets. Typically, when a team like this is bad, there is some type of ownership or management issue, and the Mets have an owner that does everything and beyond for his players and his staff. And it sucks because he's not getting repaid the value he's paying. And you have the most important part in baseball. You have a rich owner that's willing to do anything. Something that should be kind of like a cheat code. But the Mets still can't figure it out. And this is disgusting. It's a disgrace. And every Mets fan should feel ashamed. Not ashamed. Every Mets fan should feel disgusted.
They should feel betrayed.
And then they should be betrayed. Yes, you're right. And I hope these players, are sick to their stomachs. because I'm not even a Mets fan. And these guys, I know a lot of Mets fans say this too. This was an unsufferable group to watch. Unbearable. I couldn't stand watching these guys. There was an ego to them. I don't know what it was. That last year's run, you would have thought they won the World Series. Just the ego, in my opinion, they had.
Well, it's because I that also, when you talk about front office and ownership, I feel like that very well can come down from ownership. The way they talked about last year, the meetings with Juan Soto, they almost like their meetings to convince him to come there at, I believe it was Steve Cohen's house in Los Angeles or California, whatever, his mansion. They had all these big events to convince him, and like for the Yankees, they didn't have anything to that level. It's almost like, hey, you're gonna come here, you're gonna work hard, you're gonna win, and then you'll be a legend in the city. Whereas the Mets, they were giving him all of that up front. They were giving him the suite in the stadium for his family. They were giving him the fancy dinners, the private plane rides. They were giving all this to him right away, where the Yankees were like, you want all this? Come here and earn it.
Yeah, and I guarantee, the funny thing is, I guarantee you the Mets are going to be the offseason champs again. They will sign to Kyle Tucker, or I'm not sure the pitching free agency, actually, off the top of my head, but I know Kyle Tucker's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
They'll sign a guy like that, and everyone will be going crazy. But I don't know. There's got to be a culture change. There's got to be some definitely new blood in their locker room next year. And it's just a complete, utter disaster for the 2025 New York Mets. And I will call this is one of the most disappointing teams, arguably, in sports history. I don't think I'm being hyperbolic when I say that. They were barely 500 in baseball, where and they really weren't too injured like their stars. Some of their pitching, they had injuries, but their star players were not too injured. And there was no reason for this team not to make the playoffs. And this will live on with the 2007 Mets as a disgrace of a year, along with the 2023 Mets too.
Yeah, and even though when you look at the standings, the 2007 Mets were worse. The way they were in a playoff spot for more days than this Mets team, yada yada, whatever. This Mets team had 3 wildcard spots that they could have taken. Yes. They had this ginormous payroll. They had an $800 million player. I just think that this is just totally inexcusable. And I believe Valdez from the Astros is a free agent.
Oh, that'll be a big
lefty. And Michael King, he's from New York or New Jersey. So
hopefully former Yankee Michael King. Yep.
And I mean, when the Yankees faced the Padres this year, there was a lot of talks about, the Yankees are going to re-sign this guy at the end of the season. What if the Mets throw him a bag and he goes there?
Yeah, that could definitely happen. Okay, I understand this. Their rotation was injured, but the whole point of this Mets team was they should stand a pitcher to not getting hurt, because they didn't pay for top-notch pitching, and that still everyone gets hurt. Like, injuries happen. That's not the reason why you couldn't win 84 games. The bar wasn't high. Imagine it was opening day. You said the Mets needed 84 games to win the playoffs. You would have thought, like, oh, they're in the playoffs. You have a Cincinnati Reds team who is, at least since they've done this format, I think this is the worst team to make the playoffs since that format. They are not good. Probably. The Dodgers are going to sweep them. The Dodgers are going to have a bye, pretty much. Like the Cincinnati Reds are not doing anything, and it would have. I wanted the Mets to make the playoffs. We would have had more to talk about. It also would have been better for just baseball. What's going to get more views, Mets Dodgers or Dodgers Reds? And that's it. Their season's over, and I think Henry's actually right. We're going to be hearing a lot more about this throughout the coming days and weeks.
And because last year, around this time when the Mets got hot, we started fantasizing a little bit about a Mets-Yankees World Series possibly, and then coming off of that, off the postseason last year, coming in this year, when the Mets signed Soto, we kept fantasizing about that a little bit, and that would be amazing too. And that's just no longer possible.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. So I think it's time to move on to the Yankees. The Yankees. So I guess we could kind of just a little bit recap the end of the regular season before we get into the playoffs. So I mean, the Yankees got hot. They came back in the division, which I don't think we really thought was possible, and they came up just short. Finished the year 94 wins, 8-game win streak, coming in really, really hot. And I'm not crushed that they didn't win the division. Like I'm not really crushed. Like I don't like it's not the end of the world to me at all.
yeah.
I just think it proves, and like I think you've mentioned a lot of great points to this to me. You got to play a full season, and if you don't have some of those horrible stretches or even one literal singular game, you have the 1 seed right now. And the Yankees didn't play a complete regular season, and some of it's bad luck because obviously 94 wins should still get you a 2 seed most years, but they bit themselves in the foot too much at certain points of the regular season, and that's why they're a wild card team, not a division winner.
Yeah, I mean, just going through a couple games, I sent this to you and our buddy Mike the other day. In a game against the Blue Jays, top of the 9th, they're up 2-1. A game against the Rays, bottom of the 9th, they're up 4-8. Against the Padres in the 8th inning, they're up 3-0. I mean, a lot of that Marlins game was probably the most demoralizing game of the season, where they're up 9-4. I don't like late in the game, like things like that. You just needed one of those games, and we would have had the top spot. So I get what you mean. Like we're not sitting here devastated at all about that, but like it is a little bit demoralizing where I feel like we should have that spot.
Yes, of course. And
so
like some teams, like last year's teams, I thought needed to win the division in order to make the playoffs, play their playoff run. I don't feel about this year's team. I just going into this Red Sox series, there is no reason the Yankees should not win this series. I am fully confident saying that they are red hot. They're playing their best baseball. This lineup is loaded. They have, I think obviously Crochet is tough, but you have Max Fried to bounce it off. And then I think Carlos Rodon and Bayo will be the other one. And then I'm not sure who the third pitcher will be for the Red Sox.
I'm not either.
But Cam Schlitt will possibly pitch that. Hopefully it's just 2 games. But I think the Yankees have a better lineup. And I think the Yankees bullpen's starting to turn around. This is probably the best the bullpen's looked over this past 8 to 10 games. They haven't imploded too much. Bednar has been the guy. Devin Williams has kind of put himself back in the setup man spot. I'm not going to lie. And I feel pretty good about this team. And they should beat Boston.
Yeah. Their third is Lucas Giolito.
Okay.
So I like our chances with either Heel or Schlittler against him. I just hope we don't get to a third game. I hope we take care of business in 2.
And isn't it crazy we're playing the Red Sox again? I mean, the greatest rivalry in sports to me. Once again lining up. The Yankees used to own them, but since the Aaron Boone walk-off home run, they have not won since. Red Sox won in 04, 18, and 21. Now this is the time for the Yankees to get some payback. I think the Yankees they're probably going to be clearly the favorites. I'm not even sure Roman Anthony's playing. I would have to look more into that. But the Yankees, I'm going to be guessing will be, I don't want to say heavy favorites, but favorites. And it's kind of nice because last series we beat them. We had against them in Fenway, but at Yankee Stadium, 3 games there, they should win this. Just straight up, like I keep saying.
Yeah, my biggest fear is seeing Aroldis Chapman come out and close us out.
In a game 2 or game 3, oh my God, man.
Either of them, bro.
I would just want to cry. But playoff baseball's here. It's awesome. I'm not going to focus on the Toronto part yet because we got to beat the Red Sox first. Then we'll focus on the possible future series. So obviously Crochet's going to be pitching game 1. So the Yankees will going to have that all lefty lineup. You'll see Paul Goldschmidt. I even think you'll see Ahmed Rosario. You probably won't see Ben Rice to the bullpen or you think they'll catch Ben Rice and bench. With Fried, I think they're going to start Wells.
I mean, we saw them start Rice the other day.
The only time they've ever done that.
But I think it was in preparation for a moment exactly like this where you have a lefty pitcher going against the Yankees and you want to start Ben Rice. You know?
I don't think this is the game one thing. I think you do Wells and you live through it could literally only be one at bat. Think of it. Like playoff base, let's say Fried goes 6. You don't who maybe Wells gets up for the second at bat. I don't know, but maximum 2 at bats. So you'll definitely see the Goldschmidt get in there. They'll still play Trent. Belly obviously will be in there as a lefty. But then I think you'll see Ahmed Rosario at third. Yeah. I wonder what shortstop they go with. Jazz. I guess he's not hurt. He played today. So I was kind of confused by that. So it seems like he's good to go.
His X-rays were negative, so I think.
Okay, I knew that, but I don't know what else it could have been.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see what lineup Aaron Boone comes up in the game plan, and how they utilize the bullpen in that game one. So I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited for the chess match because I think Boone has more tools to play with than he did last year. At least, definitely with the lineup, at least.
The only thing with Fried being on the mound and the amount of like soft ground balls he gets to third base. Would you not want to have Ryan McMahon, even though his bat would be a minus in this situation? Just the defense he brings alone is like incredible.
Yeah, that's a good point. Like for Max Fried in general, you're right. That's interesting. I just wonder how Aaron Boone decides this because
go ahead.
I mean, they could even do something where you put McMahon and they bench Jazz if it's a tough lefty. Like I don't know. This is interesting. This is where Aaron Boone gets paid the big bucks to make these decisions. Yeah. Because you made a very good point about McMahon. I think defense is more important in this game against Crochet specifically. You can't give up any free runs.
And just because I know McMahon's bat has been so bad, but you watch him play third base, he makes some unbelievable plays over there. Like I feel like his defense is so valuable that it makes up for his bad bat. You just bury him deep in the lineup.
Definitely. And I just wonder how they do this. I'm intrigued to say the least because Ahmed Rosario has been really good at his role of hitting against lefties. So I don't know. We're going to find out. Game 1 of the wild card, 6 p.m. game, Tuesday nights. I'm excited. Playoff baseball's here. It's a very fun time for sports. I mean, like we had darts debut, the end of baseball. We got Jets Monday night tomorrow, then straight to playoff baseball. I mean, we got an exciting time coming up. Hopefully the Yankees at least make it today. Hopefully the Yankees win this series, ALDS. Then you get Saturday, Sunday, and it's Giants Saints Sunday. So it could be a fun time for New York.
It's going to be an awesome time.
Definitely. I think we have high hopes for the Yankees overall.
We do. I mean, I just wish McMahon's bat could be like serviceable. Like
yes,
hit 230 at least, you know.
Yes, and you don't. With this lineup, like it's fine his hitting because like they don't need it, but against this great pitcher. But this is interesting though. I just thought of this. Crochet's never pitched a playoff game.
That's true. Play on the White Sox, yeah.
Wait, 2021 was he up by then? No way, right? 2021 hold on, I'm looking this up.
I don't think so. But this isn't even just like a playoff game. This is a playoff game in the Bronx. Like it's a different level of intensity.
Yankees, Red Sox.
Yes, Yankees, Red Sox.
That is true. The Sox are a young team. That's a very good point. Let's see. Oh, is that point?
So, and Max Fried, he might have been hurt the year they won the World Series, but
No, he was not. He pitched game 6 to close out the.
Okay. Yeah. So
he honestly, historically, like his stats aren't great. I've seen, but his memorable moment is game 6 versus the Astros. Okay. He was great. But let me look up the Garrett Crochet thing. I don't think he was up by then, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I don't think he was up until 22.
Oh, 2020 he was up. Let's see.
Oh, really?
2021 he pitched. I don't know if he played in the playoffs. I'm actually curious. He didn't pitch. Let's see. Garrett Crochet. I'm sure they have playoffs. Well, obviously Rodon was on that team with him back then.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. He was as a reliever then.
He has 4 appearances in the postseason.
He was a reliever then for them. I
Yeah,
think.
0.0 ERA, 6 strikeouts, and 4 appearances.
But nothing compared to what's about to be Yankees, Red Sox.
He's pitched 3 total innings.
Yeah. I mean, the Red Sox do have a young team. Not a lot of those guys have playoff experience. Yeah. Obviously, Bregman does. That's the one. He has a ton of playoff experience. And then Chapman.
Obviously, the Astros have been eliminated, but we're gonna have to go through some former Astros in Bregman, in George Springer in the second round if we make it there.
I'm just taking a hunch here, but I don't think Roman Anthony's replaying. He's headed to Fort Myers for rehab.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like he's playing.
I meant to say this. So 4 to 6 weeks was his timeline when he was originally injured. If you take the longer side of that, it would be October 14th when he would be back. The shorter side, I guess, would be right around now.
I don't know that. I mean, yeah, there's no timetable. So I mean that just leans. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that just leans towards he's not going to be playing.
Yeah, I think that leans towards like the rehab. He's not there yet. So
yeah, I mean this could be a fun series. I mean the Yankees need to beat the Red Sox. It's been 3 straight playoffs appearances now, and I mean this is going to be an awesome. MLB's definitely getting I don't know about their dream. I think they prefer, I guess, ALCS for this, but any Yankees Red Sox matchup they'll love for sure.
Yeah. So
yeah, I mean, I just hopefully the Yankees. Obviously there's that fear that their bats will cool down. Mm-hmm. I will say this. I think I've said this to you before. The wild card round is this judge does feast in the wild card round.
Yeah.
I think he's played 3 wildcard games and he goes off in them.
Some of the positives for the Yankees playing in the wild card is keep the bats hot, keep yourself in a routine of playing every single day. I know people argue that matters, and other people argue that doesn't matter. For our situation, I'm going to argue that matters and say that it's going to be good for us to be out there playing every day. And I just think it'll be good for Aaron Judge. He
hits 444 in the wild card round.
Okay. And historically, we see at the beginning of most seasons, not this season was a bit of an outlier, but he takes a little bit to get hot and get into a groove. And we see in the playoffs, like last year when they won the division and had that week off, he didn't play well in the playoffs. So I just hope he can stay hot and just keep at it.
That is I think a good point you made. I don't know if this is a bad thing, but like obviously you want the bye, but these guys aren't getting baseball players are so used to routine. And now the Yankees aren't going to be having that, which that could work in their favor. When the bye first started, tons of guys said that. I believe the bye first started 2022. And a lot of the bye teams were losing. I remember. And I think historically it's like less than 500 for the bye teams winning. And a lot of it is bats going cold because when do baseball players take a week off?
Exactly. And I feel like this could play in the Yankees' favor for if they beat the Red Sox, which I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but if we beat the Red Sox and then go on to play Toronto, a team who they seem arrogant, they seem like a team where things don't go their way and they don't think it's something that they can climb out of. They think it's like, oh, well, baseball's against us, the league's against us. We saw the thing with George Springer. They're the type of team where they're not resilient. They'll get themselves into a hole and they won't climb their way out of it.
Yeah, and I guess I just thought this. I got to point this out. The Yankees have Aaron Boone era. They've only been AL Central teams, so they got to go through 2 AL East teams at least to get to their goal.
Wow,
they got to go through the Blue Jays, the Red Sox first, and then the Blue Jays, and then whoever it end up being. I mean, this is a tough this is a tough matchup. Like I will say, these are 2 tough wild card and ALDS, but in a way, just looking long term for this, I do. Last year's team, I don't know. The main mindset was always to like get to the World Series, if that makes sense, because we didn't make it for 15 years, and we're like we saw the bracket, like, oh wow, this is really lining up for us to get to the World Series. I do feel like that if they do end up getting past the ALDS, they have a real good shot of just now winning the World Series.
I agree.
I think they would. I don't want to say breeze through the ALCS, but whoever they'd end up playing would be a much weaker opponent.
I agree, and I love your point of that. Last year was like this is a great year to get to the World Series, and then we ran into the Dodgers. This year, I don't think it matters who we run into on the NL side. I think I'd be most afraid of the Phillies. The Yankees against the Brewers, they kind of have the Brewers number. This Dodgers team is not the same Dodgers team of last year. I think it's lined up into a point where this is the Yankees' best chance we've had in a long time to win it all. But it's not like it's any sort of gimme. Like,
no,
all these teams are tough.
Yeah.
All these teams are tough, but I think the Yankees match up well against all of them.
Yeah. Game one, if they could win game one against Crochet, then I don't want to say it's a lock, but I'd be appalled if they ended up losing the series after winning game one against Crochet. So like, even if they lose game one, I don't even think I'd hit the total panic meter. I mean, who knows? Maybe I'm step on here after the game and start screaming my head off. But like, obviously you don't want to go down 1-0, but like Garrett Crochet is such a great player, but I don't know. Postseason brings out different people, players, Yankees, Red Sox. Crochet hasn't started a playoff game, so it's going to be interesting. I'm excited. I am really excited. I cannot lie. Playoff baseball is awesome.
We're going to see playoff Stanton again.
Oh,
Hopefully we get a playoff judge, some playoff judge moments. I mean, if we have typical wildcard judge, I feel like we'll be in a good spot. And
he's got a lot of veterans, dude. They've got a lot of guys that have been here.
Yeah. And then also, like, coming into every season, the teams that win it all or are right there at the end, they have guys who like unexpectedly step up. And this year for the Yankees have two of those guys in Ben Rice and in Trent Grisham. Two guys where Ben Rice, like, we thought Trent Grisham would get more at bats than he did last year, but no one anticipated him doing what he did this year. Ben Rice, we thought, he's looking good in the offseason. He's bulked up. He'll have some sort of role on this team. He's gotta. But these two guys are two really, really important pieces. Even Cody Bellinger. The Yankees gave up Cody Petit for Cody Bellinger because all the ups and downs Cody Bellinger has had throughout his career, the Cubs were just like, he's not worth this. Like, we'll gladly give you him for Cody Petit. And he's looked amazing for the Yankees. So I wouldn't really group Cody Bellinger into like unexpected guys to step up, because we needed Cody Bellinger to be that guy, and
contract year though. Like, this is where you make your money.
Yeah, we kind of expected him to be like on his upper side of what he's been throughout his career. But Trent Grisham and Ben Rice, those are two guys that have totally stepped up and given unexpected contributions.
You know what guy I'm like looking for to step up and I think could have a massive part of their playoff success?
Who?
I think Paul Goldschmidt. This is why he signed here. And I think he knows this. There might be an above 50% chance this is his last baseball he'll ever be playing in the MLB. And this is a guy that doesn't have a ring yet. He signed for the Yankees for purely these moments. He is going to start Tuesday against a tough lefty. And I think this is a guy that just I don't want to say there's some desperation, but this in his mind, this is my last, at least best chance possibly.
Yeah, and he probably wants this so bad.
Oh yes.
So
he might be on his way to the Hall of Fame. I
mean, even his contributions this year, we wanted Christian Walker instead of this guy.
Yeah, Christian Walker like 230 this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. I look for Paul Goldschmidt he rates lefties, and
Mhm.
that's what he's going to be there for. And he's such a weapon because he'll play against Crochet, and then you can put Ben Rice in for him right when the righty comes in, or any game he's off the bench. Anytime there's a lefty coming in, tough lefty, boom, he's in. He's gonna be in there. He'll be playing every day in some ways.
Yeah.
Caballero, I think, will be playing every day in some ways too. I mean, there's a lot of like Ahmed Rosario. It's like the Yankees are gonna be pinch hitting, which they never did last year, really.
Yeah, and I was gonna mention when we started. Well, who were we talking about before? Ben Rice and Austin Wells. When you were making the argument that Wells will probably start, and I was trying to say, oh well, I don't know. I think that they had Fried pitch to Ben Rice the other day just in case of a moment like this. That started making me think that maybe Wells will start, but you still have Ben Rice in your back pocket on your bench when you could just put him out there in a pinch hitting situation anytime you want. So, yeah, the Yankees have so much depth.
They have depth. They have weapons to play with, and it is. I'm excited. I'm ready. I wonder. I guess the last thing I'll end off before we're having Justin on Tuesday, and then we're Tuesday will be a busy day. We'll probably do a quick like 20-30 minute preview show.
Pregame show, postgame show.
Thinking that, and then, but you think they let Michael Kay do this series?
They let what?
You think they'll let Michael Kay do this series because it's ESPN?
No, that's a good question. I don't think so. I know David Cohn will definitely do the series.
Yeah, I wonder.
I don't think Michael Kay. I don't think so. He doesn't typically do. He does weird niche ESPN broadcasts where it's like
he does the playoff broadcast every year. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yes, he did. You're right. He did last year, right?
Yes, I think he does it every year. He does the wild card round. So I wonder if he'll be the one doing this series. I'm sure he'll want it. Obviously.
I don't know because today
I don't know if they want that to happen though.
Well, today when I was listening, so David Cohn was on the broadcast. Obviously, Michael King, Paul O'Neill, not Michael King, Michael Kay. They were on the broadcast, and they were talking about how this is their last broadcast of the season, whatever. And then they said we're passing it to you, Coney, because they're passing it off to ESPN. So
I don't know. That's interesting.
I don't know. Definitely something interesting to watch. I hope he is.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But anything else you want to touch on before we end off?
You want to give a quick Jets Dolphins prediction?
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, of course.
So obviously the Jets going down to Miami to play Dolphins. A lot of Jets and Mets fans are both fans of those teams, and I think a lot of Mets and Jets fans plan this summer to go down, watch the Mets play their last series against Miami, and then go to finish off their weekend with a Monday Night Football game. And those Jets and Mets fans have to be miserable right now with your football team sitting at 0-3 and the Mets missing out on the playoffs today. So, there's that. Just the outlook on this game. Obviously, Justin Fields is playing. He's starting.
Mm-hmm.
Jermaine Johnson's out for the Jets defense. I am just worried. This Dolphins team has been really bad, but I'm just worried that with the Jets secondary, how bad it is, that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are going to have their way with it. And this should be a get-right game for the Jets, but I honestly see the Dolphins winning by 2 possessions. Yes, dude. The Jets can't stop anything.
That's true. The Dolphins are terrible. Like, you think their offense goes crazy? Like, you think the receiver, it's going to be, a 2023 Dolphins type game?
I don't know about 2023.
I think this is a sinking ship, the Dolphins. There's just nothing good going on there.
But there's just, I don't know. Dude, Justin Fields does. You think the Jets win?
I think the Jets offense is going to have I don't want to say a week 1 type of performance, but I think they're going to be able to score the ball. And I know you're worried about the defense, but I think the Jets are going to score about 24, 27 points. If their defense, I think that should be enough to win the game.
That should be. I see the Jets scoring 14 and Miami scoring 24.
I don't know. I mean, I hope the Jets win so Frank the Tank could have the worst.
Oh my gosh, the worst weekend ever.
Oh my god, his video. I'm gonna watch more
That
of
is
this after this. It's so funny.
that's insane.
But
Uh,
back to the
see,
Jets game.
I think the Jets are one of the harder teams to read, just because
I don't know what to expect.
we've really seen two games from Fields, and they both were complete opposites. And then last week's game with Tyrod Taylor, that's not like a Jets. That's not a good representation of this
Yeah.
Jets team because he's not the quarterback. And then just that game being closer than it, like the score being closer than the game actually was. It took a miracle for the Jets to score their last touchdown to make it 27-26, and then the Bucs marched right down the field and scored. And the Bucs had a depleted O-line and no Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. So, like, am I that crazy for thinking that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle and Devon A-Chain are gonna just torch this Jets defense?
I mean, of course, it's a possibility because all those guys are super talented, but we just have yet to see that version of the Miami Dolphins exist this year. The Dolphins have, I mean, I guess they kind of played decent
against the Bills,
but the Bills almost lost to the Saints this weekend too. Like,
that's true.
I don't know if I think the Bills kind of just play down their competition a little bit.
Maybe they do. They definitely do.
Maybe not against the Jets, but
well, they usually do play down against the Jets.
Yeah, you're right. They usually do.
So
but at least week 2 they did. But
yeah, you're right.
I don't know. I think that game was honestly more in the Jets. Like their offense was pathetic that week, and it's almost like I don't know. I think this is the prime opportunity for them to get their first win. Like, because you're right. If they don't win this game, it's gonna get ugly because the Giants won. So the pressure. I feel like the Giants are more the team. Where like, could this team need better win, or else they may not win all year? That pressure would just go to the Jets, at least in the New York sense.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right because they have to win this game. Like
they do.
I know like it's the first year, but they can't go you can't go 2-15, 1-16. Like that's unacceptable. That gets people fired. Like I know everyone likes to pretend it's perfect right away. Like this is gonna work, but going that bad, whether it's year 1 or year 7, you could get fired easily.
Yeah, and we see coaches not make it a full year in the NFL because they're so bad. I think it was
Frank Reich, Urban Meyer. I can think of a few.
Wasn't it Steve Wilkes in Arizona, the Jets defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Like we see stuff like that.
A bad reputation overall, that guy. I mean, yeah, he's a defensive coordinator now, but it's
yeah. But yeah, I had another point I was about to make, but
I don't know. I think it takes a lot to get fired because, like, I remember the ones I'm thinking of is Frank Reich, where it came out that he wanted C.J. Stroud over Bryce Young while he was the head coach, and then the Urban Meyer stuff. Those are the two that come to my mind.
And I think Steve Wilkes was.
When was this?
It was when. Yes, it was when when the Cardinals were trying to convince Kyler Murray to go to the NFL instead of MLB, and they hired Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah. Okay.
So they quickly moved off of Steve Wilkes and brought in Cliff Kingsbury. Mm-hmm. But it's just like I said this after week 2. I can't have faith in the Jets until they give me something real concrete to have faith in. So that's why until then, I'm going to continuously pick against them every single week. I mean, maybe against the Panthers, I'll pick them.
Oh, we didn't do. I would have picked the Giants. I'm counting my prediction for this week, the Giants, because we didn't get to do that. I was picking.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Because last week I picked both the Giants and Jets, so I went 0-2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
this week I definitely would have picked the Chargers.
I think I went 1-1. Did I pick the Giants again? I don't think I did.
Week 1 I picked the Jets. Week 2 I picked the Bills. Week 3, I picked the Bucs. I said the Bucs were going to score 40 points.
I'm 3-4 right now because I picked the Jets to beat the Bills. I think. Wait, no, I didn't. I did not. Never mind.
I don't think you did.
I had the Giants lose, so I guess I think I'm 4-3 then, and then I'm picking the Jets to win tomorrow. 24-20.
Did I pick the Giants in week 1 against Washington?
No, you didn't. You picked against them.
Okay.
You didn't.
And then,
I don't think we picked I think we both picked the Cowboys.
I think you're right. And then we both picked the Chiefs, right?
I picked the Giants.
Uh,
I picked the Giants and Jets.
Well, I remember when we were texting back and forth during that Chiefs week, we said the Jets and Giants were both going to win that week.
Yeah, and then
obviously we.
The moment I knew the Giants were screwed is when I watched the Bears Cowboys game. I'm like, oh, they were screwed because that's when everything told me that it was fake what they did. I'm gonna check. What are these other? The Chiefs murdered the Ravens are 1-3, and Lamar got hurt. By the way,
damn, I did not.
All these games ended. Let's see. Bears beat the Raiders. I think Rams beat the Colts. So Daniel Jones finally loses. All right. Bears.
I did have a question or a comment on Instagram. Can I hear some takes on the Colts?
Colts are good. I mean, they've had their division sucks, so they probably have a good chance of winning it. Houston, I know, finally won. They competed with the Rams. They ended up losing. They're kind of just a better version of the 2022 Giants in a way, because I think Shane Steichen's a good coach, and they have good players, and in a crappy division with a quarterback that does the right things, you could win that division.
Yeah, I also. In that division, I kind of like Jacksonville with Liam Cohen. I mean, we saw some of the things that he did when he was at Kentucky, being
did they beat the 49ers?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're 3-1.
Yeah.
That's kind of they're quietly. Yeah. That is a good point. Yeah, Jacksonville's 3-1 now. I mean, I know it's early, but the Giants play the Saints next week. They should be 2-3.
2-3, yeah.
They should win that game. And then it'd be Thursday night against the Eagles, which Eagles just don't lose.
Hey, if the Giants go into Thursday night against the Eagles 2-3,
on me amped up
on them, I feel like that's where Jackson Dart would thrive.
Yes.
On him, all that. The Eagles are just a very good football team, so
they're
really be expecting.
They're really good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, so
I hate it. Oh, yeah. I said as a joke because I'm like Giants should just trade for AJ Brown because you know how the second they start losing, I'm telling you, a trade request is coming from that guy. He actually just doesn't get the ball.
Yeah, he didn't. I have him in a couple of leagues.
Yeah, I mean they don't throw the ball a lot.
That's been my downfall in some.
Oh yeah, I mean he's a great receiver, obviously. It's interesting. The Vikings are in London. I mean, or I don't know where it is. Is it London next week?
They're in Dublin today.
They're overseas again, and then you're going to.
Jets Broncos.
Oh yeah, that'll be cool.
2 weeks. So.
Yeah, you're going to that. That'll be. Hopefully the Jets have a win, but I mean, I think they'll win tomorrow. Dude, the Dolphins are bad. If they lose tomorrow, it's gonna get ugly. What's up with the random 2 Monday night games throughout the year? This is such a random time to do.
And they do it early. We had that last week or 2 weeks ago.
I remember growing up, they did it week 1, and that was it.
Okay.
And then, but now they do it just randomly.
I gotta look at. Oh wait, here we go. Yeah, so we got Cincy and Denver tomorrow, also. Yeah, and because I don't know, I think it was 2 years ago. It was the Saints and the Panthers and the Bucks and someone else.
Oh,
just two really
I actually
bad
remember this game. It was really bad. Oh, I have such a good memory of this game. They are typically bad games too.
Yeah, they were really bad. The thing about football is the reason that the Sunday slate is so good is because if one game's bad, you could flip it to another game. But when you have standalone games and they're bad, then it makes it that much worse because you have to sit through and watch it. But then when you have 2 games like that are both bad, it makes it that much worse because it's I'm going to flip to the other option, but the other option is just as bad.
Well, I think they give every team a Monday and Thursday game. Sunday night's the only one where they don't restrict it. But even their Sunday games, I know people give a lot of shit. People were giving a lot of crap for the Giants Chiefs game, and I don't know how the Giants are always on Sunday. No matter how bad they are, they will be on Sunday night, which is kind of surprising to me.
It's because like it's the New York effect, and
Yeah,
like they're the higher, better New York team. Like not
were the Jets on
necessarily
it last year at all? They were, right?
not last year, but 2 years ago.
They weren't on it at all last year.
I don't think so. Last year, 2 years ago,
Wait,
they
I
were
thought
on
they
it.
were against the Steelers. I have this. Was that Monday or Sunday Night Football? It was Devontae Adams' like first game.
Wait, hold on. Jets 2 years ago. 2 years ago, they definitely were against the Raiders and the Chiefs. Oh, here we go. Sunday, October 20th. It doesn't say the time or
I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping.
I don't know. Yeah, I can't find it. But 2 years ago when and I thought they weren't on any Sunday night games last year because the NFL wasn't going to do it again where they put the Jets in a bunch of primetime games just for Rodgers to get hurt. Because 2 years ago they like completely regretted it. They flexed them out of one of the games late in the year, and the Jets ended up playing against the Chiefs and the Raiders on Sunday Night Football, and they had a third one, I believe, that was flexed out.
Gotcha.
So
okay. Anything else you want to mention before we?
No, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Really
I think
exciting week of sports coming up. So
I'm sure we'll both be making TikToks about the upcoming Yankees. I'll probably make some Giant stuff too. It's exciting time, a lot of content. We have a lot of stuff. Tuesday's gonna be a fun day. We got at least we'll record. I don't know. We got to talk about kind of off camera if we want to when we want to release that episode.
We'll probably record it and then we'll put it out whenever, and then
we'll
go live Tuesday.
I have class till 4:45, so I'm thinking like 5. I could just go straight to 5 if you want to do. Lineup will be out. We can talk for like a half hour, then 45 minutes and go. All right.
Yep.
I think that sounds good. All right, guys. We'll see you Tuesday for the first wild card game.
Sounds good. Thanks for watching, everyone. Like, comment, subscribe. Follow us on